Since its inception, Disney has had one goal: to prove that boundaries can be broken. Under Walt Disney's vision, the company always focused on developing the best artistic vision that animation could convey. His story begins on December 5, 1901, in Chicago. Walt, the fourth of 5 children, showed a love of drawing at an early age, influenced by the cartoons he saw in newspapers and his interest in trains, which he shared with his sister. His passion for drawing led him to work as an illustrator from an early age, and during World War I, he joined the Red Cross as an ambulance driver in France, where he even decorated the ambulances with his drawings. After the war, he began working in an art studio in Kansas City, where he met Ub Iwerks, with whom he would later find his own studio. In 1923, Walt and his brother Roy founded the Disney Brothers Studios, later known as the Walt Disney Company, with the intention of producing animated cartoons. Their first major character was Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, but due to contractual issues, Walt lost the rights to the character and part of his animation team. In response to this loss, Walt and Ub Iwerks created Mickey Mouse, inspired by a mouse Walt had adopted. Mickey Mouse made his debut in the 1928 short film Steamboat Willie, and quickly became a cultural phenomenon. The idea of bringing the Brothers Grimm's classic fairy tale to the big screen arose when they began making short films that became successful and Oscar-winning, such as Trees and Flowers. However, Walt Disney's vision went further. He wanted not only a colorful and dialogue-rich story, but also a complete animated film. The decision to produce Snow White was a risky one, but the film would mark a significant technological and artistic breakthrough for Disney, as it would not only be the studio's first feature-length animated film in color and sound, but it would also strive to achieve a level of realism never before seen in animation. To achieve this realism, Walt Disney sent his animators to specialized courses to learn how to animate human movement more authentically. They also experimented with the multi-plane technique, which allowed them to create a unique sense of depth in animated scenes. Despite the challenges and media skepticism about the film's potential financial failure, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs premiered in December 1937 to overwhelming success. The film not only captivated audiences, but also won critical acclaim and several awards, including a special Oscar for its contribution to animation. With this formula, they released 2 more groundbreaking films in 1950 and another in 1991 that became instant classics, Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast, where they began to implement more advanced technology and achieve a much improved visual department. After the unprecedented success of Snow White, nothing could stop the company. With this in mind, development began on their next big project, the project that would mark the beginning of Disney's golden age, where each film was better than the last. Released in 1940, Pinocchio represented a significant advancement in animation and visual effects, as the film not only introduced revolutionary techniques for the time, such as realistic effects animation. Despite its artistic quality, Pinocchio did not achieve the expected box office success, in part due to the outbreak of World War II and the refusal of some international markets to release the film. However, this setback did not discourage Disney, who continued to innovate with his next project, Fantasia. Released in 1940, Fantasia was an experimental film that combined animation with classical music performed by an orchestra conducted by Leopold Stokowski. The film not only introduced advances in sound technology, such as the Phanta sound system, but also explored new forms of visual storytelling. Despite its mixed reception at the box office, Fantasia won 2 honorary Academy Awards for its technical contributions, demonstrating that Disney had no limits when it came to innovation and artistic quality. The film's commercial failure, however, put Disney in a difficult position and led to a series of internal changes at the studio. The result was Dumbo, released in 1941, which would be an attempt to recover from the previous bad films. Dumbo, the story of an elephant with big ears who discovers his own worth and touched the hearts of millions of viewers, and proved that animated films could be both financially successful and artistically moving. The film also won an Academy Award for Best Original Score, further cementing its status as a masterpiece of animated cinema. But it wasn't until the arrival of a certain man that this would change and bring about Disney's renaissance. Jeffrey Katzenberg is the man responsible for reviving the company and ushering in the golden age of animation. You may not have heard much about him, but his importance in the industry is all too relevant, as he is one of the producers with the best cinematic instincts around. The genius behind the production of Star Trek, Indiana Jones and the Lost Ark, and even masterpieces like The Elephant Man. Such a genius was acquired by Disney, and with it came the beginning of a much more explosive golden age than the previous one. But his first success was the movie The Little Mermaid in 1989. In fact, he was the genius behind films like Beauty and the Beast and The Lion King. We are talking about the high point for Disney, achieving the mix between cinematic masterpieces and commercial works that entered the hearts of everyone. But he left the company because they never gave him the position of Chief Executive Officer, a position they had been promising for years. And when they were going to give it to Katzenberg, they ended up giving it to Michael Ovitz, a man with a bad reputation. This did not sit well with Jeffrey, who left the company and sued them over intellectual copyright issues, winning $300 million for the lawsuit. And with that, and with Steven Spielberg, they founded DreamWorks. But that's another story. Disney managed to move forward, releasing films that would be appreciated years later, such as Treasure Planet and Atlantis. But its great successes were in 3D animation. From 1998 to 2010, we can say that it was the golden age of Pixar, a company owned by Disney, which produced a great number of masterpieces. Among them, we have Toy Story, which was a turning point in the world of animation. Then another big boom, since A Bug's Life Doesn't Count, were Monsters, Inc. and Finding Nemo. But the moment that changed everything was thanks to Brad Bird, the mind behind The Iron Giant, who directed the most important films of the franchise, The Incredibles and Ratatouille. Then Andrew Stanton would make history with the film WALL-E, which brought the first dialogue-free act in history. And it is thanks to these films and the foray of Brave by Pixar that Disney dared to make its own animated films, such as Tangled, a first attempt that was not so iconic but laid the groundwork for one of the most timeless films in history, Frozen. From its music to its costumes, the chosen audiovisual aesthetic that played a lot with those classic touches made the work visually beautiful. Today, the company is part of our lives, for better or worse. It is currently one of the icons that make up modern pop culture, and its projects that draw from pop art are important to society. Everyone from young to old knows at least some of the company's works, but this is due to its commercial insertion in the media through products, holdings, and above all, its theme parks. This brings us to the creation of Disney theme parks, a milestone that would forever change the entertainment and tourism industries. After years of financial and creative challenges, Walt Disney set out to bring the magic of his movies to life. Inspired by his trips to amusement parks with his daughters and motivated by the promise of land near his production studio in California, Disney began the Disneyland Project. Finally, on July 17, 1955, Disneyland opened its doors to the public, marking a milestone in entertainment history. Despite a few setbacks during the opening, such as counterfeit tickets and an overwhelming crowd, the park was an instant success. ABC's live coverage of the event was seen by millions of viewers across the country, cementing Disneyland's fame and popularity even before the first guests entered its gates. With its diverse design, exciting attractions, and focus on storytelling, Disneyland sets a new standard for theme parks worldwide. Since then, the Disney theme park empire has grown to include multiple locations around the world, each offering unique and memorable experiences for people of all ages. As time unfolds, whether for the better or for the worse, Disney continues to weave itself into the fabric of our lives. Undoubtedly, it will persist for many more years, encompassing both triumphant highs and challenging lows. But now we want to hear from you. Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. And hey, if you want to stay updated on all things design, click the bell icon to receive notifications. Until next time, keep appreciating the beauty of design, and we'll catch you in the next video.